So the Apple event just wrapped up and Apple did the impossible. They released tons of new products in just an hour, which was very packed to say the least. But before we get into that, roll the intro. So, first of all, Apple released and improved new subscription services. These services are Apple Podcasts and Apple Card. Apple just improved Apple Card with a new feature called Apple Card Family. Now, you can improve everyone's credit score on the Apple Card. So if your kids or your wife or your partner use the Apple Card, they will improve your credit and their credit scores, making it more fair and trying to combat this rigged system, which is the credit score system. Then Apple did what everyone was predicting last night. They improved Apple Podcasts, but not with Apple Podcasts Plus, but with Apple Podcasts subscription, where right now you can, as a podcaster, put a subscription paywall. So a big fan of yours can pay a bit for every month so you can get exclusive content and ad-free content. That's pretty cool. They did some updates on their Apple TV shows and stuff, but not that big. This was a hardware-packed event. So let's get into it. The first hardware product was Airtags, which is just stunning. Airtags were expected for almost 2 years and it was the most leaked product of all time. We were expecting it to come and we knew everything about it, but the price was not a given. We thought that we could get $39 or $49 per tag, but Apple just slashed and undercut everyone, putting it at $29, which is just incredible. You can now track your things using Find My Network everywhere you want to. Also, they released some accessories, just like the Apple Watch. Those strings attached to your purse, to your backpack, to your bike, to your girlfriend, joking, but to everything you want to track. And it's amazing. I'm gonna get a few. Then Apple released something that we were not expecting at all, a new iPhone. But then it wasn't the iPhone SE, of course. It was a new iPhone 12 color, a purple one. And it's beautiful and I love it. So if I could, I would get it. But I think I prefer the iPhone 12 Pro. Then Apple did the unexpected and released Apple TV. Joking. Apple TV is pretty much the same. Just has a new serial mode, which I will talk about later, and an 4K HDR capability. So you can show your favorite iPhone 12 Pro recordings Dolby Vision on your big HDR 4K TV, which I think you don't have, so it's not a big deal. Then you can have a color matching feature, which Apple will color balance your TV using your iPhone 12 Pro or 12 sensors. So you just put your iPhone 12 against the TV and it will color balance itself, which is pretty cool, I think. Then Apple updated the Siri remote. The Siri remote was a bit weak and ugly and very easy to lose. So Apple made it contrastier and using an aluminum build, which it will not break as the one before, which was glass. Now all the buttons are black and the remote is silver, so it's very easy to see in the dark. So now the Siri remote can control your TV too, so you only need one remote for every TV and Apple TV, which is pretty cool, I think. And who doesn't like to have only one remote? So this was Apple TV in a pinch, and I think it was pretty boring. Then Apple released one of the most anticipated products of all time, an iMac redesign. But it wasn't what we expected. They kept the chin and the borders, so now you have small white bezels around the display and a colored chin. They released 7 new colors. And this new iMac looks stunning for me. I think it's a very controversial design and I've seen a lot of people reacting to it, saying they don't like it, but I love it. I just love it. When I first saw it, I just thought, wow, this is just beautiful. And the new 11.5mm thick display is just incredible. The iMac is just 11.5mm thick. Think of that, just 10 centimeters. That's just 11.5mm is just 1.05 centimeters. That's just ridiculous. Ridiculous. It has a 24-inch new display with a 4.5K resolution. It's just incredible. And with the new M1, it has an amazing performance that it can compare only to M1 Mac Mini and M1 MacBook Pro and MacBook Air, which is just incredible. If you want a comparison between the two M1 desktops, the M1 Mac Mini and the M1 iMac, put it down in the comments below. This new iMac starts at $12.99 and it has two Thunderbolt ports and nothing more. Also, it has the power supply at the core, so it's an external power supply. You have to plug it to the wall and you have a power supply on the floor which has an Ethernet port. So it's cool and all, but I think it's a pretty weird spot to put an Ethernet, but it probably didn't fit on the very, very small 11.5mm thick iMac. Now, in this configuration of $12.99, you can have only two Thunderbolt ports and 5 colors options. But if you spend $200 more at $14.99, you will get 4 ports with 2 Thunderbolt ports and 2 USB-C ports, which is just incredible. I love this iMac and I believe a lot of people will buy it. I think it's perfect for that entry-level iMac. I love it, love it, love it. Apple, good job. Then we got the most anticipated product and leaked product for this event, the new iPad Pros. These are very similar in terms of design, but the new 12.9 inch, it's where all the fun is at. Also, the 11 inch features M1. So we just saw Tim Cook entering the cave and disguised and stole the M1 chip from a MacBook Air and put it on the iPad Pro, which was pretty fun. It was one of the highlights of the event. I love that scene. And we saw that the new iPad Pro will feature M1 performance, which is just incredible. We have all that power efficiency power on that very thin device. It will have 75% more power in terms of CPU and 40% more graphics power. So that's very incredible. Then we will have 2 times as fast storage and we will have a 2TB option to go with it. This is just incredible. To finish up the very improved specs, Apple quietly released an option of 16 GB of RAM. So I believe that they will release new iPad Pro suite apps like Final Cut Pro and Logic Pro at the end of WWDC in June 7. Because in this event they focused on hardware, not software, and they made the ground to release it with iOS 15 and iPadOS 15. This was just incredible. I loved the iPad Pro, but then they did the unexpected and they released an iPad Pro 12.9 inch, which we had, and they put there a new Pro Display XDR in that small design. So we have now a liquid Retina XDR display, which is just incredible. They just minimized the Pro Display XDR and built it on that thin device, which is the iPad Pro 12.9 inch. It's only available on the bigger size, probably because of the space they have internally to keep up of that displayed from that display. The 11 inch is still cool. You still have all of the features that the iPad Pros 12.9 inch have, except the mini LED display. Finally, they released new cameras on these new iPads. You can say, oh, what new cameras? They improved the ultra-wide camera. This new camera is now capable of center stage. Center stage is just incredible. It can follow you around when you are in a video conference call. So if you move, it uses the 1x that you are using and to capture the scene, and uses this 0.5x camera that it has to follow you around. So it seems like the iPad is moving by itself, which is not. It's able to capture and focus on your face. But if someone enters the room and sees the iPad and the iPad focus on their face, they will go and track them too. So this is a very incredible feature that I think it will be very useful for a new Live, which is Zoom Live. Also, the mics array was very improved on this new iPad, which is just incredible, and it got 5G. So on the side you have now an ultra-wideband thingy where it wouldn't confuse you with an Apple Pencil charger. So it's pretty amazing, and only on the States, of course, millimeter wave. So I think that right now the iPad Pro is a very, very, very capable option for everyone who wants a very thin and small device that morphs in every category of product that you need to, a computer, a tablet, or even, if you want to, sometimes a camera. So I think right now the iPad Pros are the strongest device on Apple's lineup. So this was all for the event. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a very packed event, spring loaded, of course. This was Tech Summer talking to you here. Bye.